Aloha, I'm Chris Berman, and coming up on ESPN, we'll get a progress report on a guy that looks to have a pretty good future in the NFL. He's so good, a whole province is named after him. Former Oregon star Ontario Smith. He's worth keeping an eye on in this one. Bears, Vikings. This ought to be good.
Hi, folks. I'm Dan Stevens, and welcome to the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. My colleague here in the commentary booth is Peter O'Keefe. Peter, both of these teams have a solid tackler on defense who does an excellent job pursuing the ball.
No doubt about that, Dan. These guys do an outstanding job of reading the offense and ripping it to shreds.
Williams will get the carry on first down. Williams carries it for a third time in a row and heads wide. Culpepper throws a heater and it's complete. Culpepper rifles it out left side and the reception. Green sacks him way back at
54.
Booker hauls in the pass. Grossman fires this one over the middle and it's intercepted. Tackled at the 35. Throughout this one, which starts at the 35-yard line. Robinson makes the catch out to the left. Williams has his number called on third down and takes it upfield. Brown gets the sack at the 10.
5 receivers, defense is countering with a nickel.
Culpepper puts his arm into this one, and it's tipped. Incomplete. That will bring up 4th and goal. Call by the defensive coordinator.
Oh, it sure was. Perfect D for that situation.
Elling from 27 yards out, and they take the lead.
4 receivers line up as the defense settles into a nickel package.
Jones takes the handoff and tackled at the 37.
Far, he's got 2 interceptions.
The Vikings have been locked in a defensive struggle so far. Briggs tackles. Culpepper throws a bullet to the flat and
Great D. They had to make a stand here, and they stood together.
it will be 4th down. It's good. As they start at their own 25-yard line. Johnson pulls down. Nixon gets and will start this drive at their own 15-yard line. Williams in motion. Williams gets the call on third down and gets the first and more. Gets the sack. The Vikings. No good. Incomplete. Grossman rifles this one hard over the middle. Number 81 snags the missile. Grossman unloads this to the right sideline, and it's intercepted. Knocked out of bounds at the 47. And that'll do it for the first half of this one. The Vikings are out in front 6-0. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN halftime report. Boomer? Well, Peter, some interesting information up on the screen.
Oh, you bet. Well, the numbers aren't impressive here, but they can take heart that a single score will change the whole game. They need to put a drive together and make something happen.
Right, but offensively, we just haven't been able to get it done. He said their plan is to make some adjustments in the next half, and we'll see how it works out.
Gage catches it left. Grossman throws this one right sideline and Gage goes in motion. Fumble! The Vikings have it.
Chris Claiborne delivers a punishing blow to the ball carrier there. And he gives up the football for the fumble. Great hard-nosed defensive play.
Peter, there are many ways. Culpepper dumps this one to the flat, and the reception's made at the 37, and he's stopped right there. 9-yard line. Jones takes it off the toss and dragged down at the 9. It stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at the 9-yard line.
Field 5 receivers, and the defense is in their dime. Let's watch.
Culpepper throws a bullet here, and it's caught for a touchdown.
Vikings.
Dante Culpepper completes a nice pass past the D on this play. It's worth another look here. Oh, it's all about accuracy, Dan, and there was only one guy covering him on that. Coordinator. Agreed, Dan. They had it all locked up there.
That will bring up second down. Grossman takes the throw after the play-action fake, and the catch is made well past the markers for a first down.
Bernard Berrien shows his coverage, man. The finer points of pass patterns, namely, get away from me. I have the ball to catch.
He really beat his man. That was bad coverage. Booker snags the dart. Jones is at the 35. The ball's loose. The Vikings have it. Breaks free. Runs out at the 43.
Dan, this right here is a live ball, and fortunately for the defense, they grab it and gain possession. Heads up play.
Peter, there are many ways you can start a drive, but a turnover is not one of them.
No, definitely not. That was a big-time play.
Campbell loses. Irvin tips. Grossman rifles this one hard over the middle, and Booker grabs the fastball over the middle, and
he's daring the D to stop him.
Grossman uncorks this to the left side. Grossman throws a bullet, and he connects at the 20. Booker didn't haul that one in, and it falls incomplete. Grossman zips it to the left side. This one will fall. Grossman gets all of his arm into this pass. Azuma, 156. One man to beat. Stopped at the 26.
Kevin Williams gets the interception, but that really happened because his teammate got in there and tipped it. Oh, it's all about coordinating your defense, man. Playing as a team.
Williams picks up. Elling kicks it from 35 yards, and he misses this one to
Aaron Elling.
Booker catches the. Grossman throws the pass, and it's intercepted. Stopped, and that is going to do it for this one. The Vikings come out on top, 13-0. For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
Enjoy this, and we're gonna get you next time. We're gonna get you next time. It's all right. See you.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much. And let's welcome all of you back to the studio. I'm Chris Berman here to bring you our ESPN Video Games post-game wrap-up. The Vikings stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Now let's take a sec to chat with our player of the game, the guy who seemed to be all over the field on defense and came up with big play after big play. Chris Claiborne was kind enough to give us a moment of his time, and he's on the field with Susie Calvin. Susie?
Thanks, Chris. You gave an outstanding effort, and you were instrumental in helping your team snag the win. What gave you guys the edge today?
Both teams came out ready to play today. Luckily, we were able to come up with some, big key plays down the field, and luckily we came out on top.
Back to you, Chris.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Buccaneers come away with a decisive 10-point win. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Donnie Edwards is probably the one that most leaps out at you. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Keenan McCardell sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. He's suffering from symptoms of a concussion, and he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Chad Lewis stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Ravens pick up win number 2. Byron Leftwich threw for 250-plus yards and helped his Jaguars beat the Titans. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. This guy will be playing his football elsewhere, though perhaps not for as much as he would have liked. 4 years, $1.3 million. This guy is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the Patriots. Jamie Duncan is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 4 years, $3.7 million. Ricky Williams is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the Redskins.
Bears, Vikings. Chris Claiborne was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. The Vikings win this one by the final score of 13-0. In the Big Apple, New York, we had the Giants edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. Down at Pro Player Stadium, we had the Dolphins come away with a 2-point nail-biting win. The Colts defense held their opponents to under 150 passing yards in their win at the RCA Dome. Cardinals, Falcons. Michael Vick is calling the signals at the 28-yard line. Will they go safe? Pocket forms beautifully. Lob. Nice in stride touchdown. The Falcons go on to win this by the final score of 14-6. The Chiefs won at home but will take to the road next week to meet the Ravens. Dane Looker stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Broncos pick up their first win of the year. 49ers, Seahawks. Bobby Taylor is set up right near the midfield stripe to get this ball and takes it just in his own territory. Jets right. There are a couple defenders there, but he outruns them. Where's the defense? Touchdown, 53 yards. The Seahawks win this one by the final score of 30-14. And last but not least, we had the Redskins come away victorious. So that'll just about do it. But before we go, I'm going to toss out a few game balls to my prime-time players. Each and every one of these men had a week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.